only a few would actually argue that the state of our education system has plenty of room for improvement. However, a plan to take schools in the right direction is often easier said than done. The first challenge lies in identifying the underlying problems keeping students from actually learning today. These problems may change considerably just depending on who is labeling them, whether that may be our students, parents, lawmakers, or even our educators. Consider this video a simple list of major problems that consist within the public school system, based on a perspective of many involved in the world of education today. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Campbell and we're back with another video. Now, first and foremost, if this is your first time clicking on my channel, I ask you to do me a quick favor. Please hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification bell to be notified anytime that I drop some content. And while you're at it, please leave a like down below. It helps the algorithm, helps my channel continue to grow, and it pushes my content out in front of more and more people. And if this isn't your first time clicking on my channel, I just want to say welcome back to the trenches. It's your boy Meech reporting live, and I got some great content for y'all today. Now, before we dive too deep into this video, I just want to simply state that this video is not intended in any way, shape, or form to on the public school system or to talk down on those who are involved with the lawmaking practices or actually dealing with these students on a day-to-day basis. This simply is a video to shed light on some of the issues incurred and also just speak on some of the things going on in the school system. Many areas of the country are facing classrooms that are literally busting out at the seams. A report at NEA Today 2 years ago discussed how many schools in Georgia, in the midst of major funding cuts for schools, had no choice but to lift all class size limits to accommodate students with the facility the school system could simply afford. More recently, Fairfax County in Virginia has been looking for a proposal to increase classroom sizes in the face of significant budget cuts. The Board of Education in South Carolina is also weighing their options in this area. When money gets tight, classroom numbers are often impacted, yet most teachers agree that they cannot effectively teach each and every student in the classroom if the class size exceeds the limit of about 30. Their statements are backed up by research. Class Size Matters cites a study performed by the Tennessee Star that found that 17 classes of 15 to 17 students in grades K through 3 provided both long and short-term benefits to both the students and the teachers in those classrooms. Minority students, those living in poverty, and male students appeared to benefit from the smaller classroom sizes the most. Another issue that I find pretty big in the public school system is poverty, and this is also backed up by a lot of research and information. Technorati reported last fall that 22% of the children in the U.S. live at or below the poverty level. American Graduate defines a poverty as a family of 4 with an annual income of about $23,000 or lower. American Graduate also cites a report of the Southern Education Foundation, which shows that in 17 states across the U.S., low-income students now comprise the majority of public school students in those states. Some estimates put poverty levels for public school students at 25% in the not-so-distant future. Students living at or below the poverty level tend to have the highest dropout rates. Studies show that students who do not get enough food or sleep are less likely to perform at their full academic potential. Schools know these truths firsthand, and despite their efforts to provide students with basic essentials, teachers, administrators, and lawmakers know that there's simply not enough to go around. And some of the issues in the school system stretch a little bit further beyond the actual classroom and also into their homes as well. Family factors also play a huge role in the teacher's ability to teach students. Principals and teachers agree that what is going on at the home will impact the student's propensity to learn. Divorce, single parents, poverty, violence, and many other issues are all challenges a student brings to school each and every day. While some teachers and administrators try to work with children in less than ideal family environments, they can only do so much, especially when parents are often not willing to partner with the schools to provide the education. I simply want to state that these are things that I also definitely can relate to and understand, dealing with coming from the trenches, coming in a predominantly black area and coming from a predominantly poor neighborhood. I went to a predominantly black school, and these are things we dealt with and faced each and every day. You had so many issues going on at home. Like me, for example, I had no lights and no running water. That means no electricity and no actual running water for like 4 years of my high school career before I wasn't able to maintain a 2.0 GPA up until my senior year of high school. You just have so many other different factors going on outside of school that the classroom, it's just the least of your worry. At this point, I'm simply worried about how to make a dollar and how to make things work a little bit more comfortable at home, because no matter what type of education you're getting in high school, there's nothing worse than coming home with just little to nothing. No lights, no water, nowhere to lay your head, nothing to eat, nothing to do. That's how you get caught up in the streets and get caught up doing some of the wrong things, because you're making decisions based on now and not your future. You got some parents working 50, 60, and even 70 hours a week just to make ends meet, and so they don't have time to go up to the school and figure out what's going on with the child. You know, kind of the kids left to thug it out, and the parents left to figure it out in terms of trying to pay bills and make things work. It's a lose-lose situation. It's a never-ending cycle. It's going to take a whole lot to actually break this part of it. The issues don't simply stop at there. They stretch also into the technology field. Kids Health Guide reports that students are more technologically advanced than many of their teachers today, putting instructors at a decided disadvantage in the classroom. However, a student's love of technology also tends to distract them from their schoolwork, according to NEA today. When the teachers don't have the techno savvy to compete with those devices by bringing education and technology together, it can be difficult to keep students' interest and attention to properly teach new concepts. Technology needs to come into the classroom to keep up with the learning demands of the 21st century. One of the hugest issues that I think we don't necessarily talk about enough today is the bullying that goes on in the public school system. And not just even in the public school system, in the school systems across America in general. Bullying is not a new problem, but it is one that has the most profound impact on the learning aptitude of many students today. Technology has given bullies even more avenues to torment the victim through social media, texting, and other virtual interactions. Cyberbullying has become a major issue for schools, as evidenced by the number of suicides that can directly be traced to bullying events. What makes this issue so challenging is because you have teachers, students, lawmakers, educators, they're not sure how to go about it. So when you have students being bullied, if the student is actually being honest and open and communicating that fact with the peers, a lot of times nothing is done. And so the student is left to fend for themselves. And you have so many tragic and sad situations where you have students not only taking their lives, but being so angry, being so hurt, being so lost. And they're going to these schools and they're taking the lives of their peers also. It's a mess up situation, man. And it's a whole lot about that part of it that needs to change ASAP, because if not, we're going to continue to lose children around America. Parent involvement is also a thing, as I cited earlier, that's continually be a problem, because you have some parents who have so much on their plate in terms of just trying to work so many hours where they're not exactly able to be as involved as they'd like to be with their children and with the school system. Often teachers find there is no happy medium when it comes to parental involvement. According to the Kids Health Guide, some parents won't even be seen the entire school year, no matter what sort of issues might arise. Others seem to never go away, hovering over their child and their teacher and interfering with the education process. There are many ways that parents can become involved and support their children's education at the same time, but teachers don't always get that same level from the parents. Student health has become a huge issue with the amount of technology around, because I think technology is a double-edged sword. It's one of those things where it's so great and it helps us advance even farther, and it provides information in a more convenient and quicker manner. But it's also something that our children are so hung up on that they're not going outside, they're not getting active, and they're not playing. And therefore we have student obesity at such a younger age, and I think it's a lot more prevalent now than it was when I was coming up. Obesity has reached epidemic proportions in the US, and the same poor eating habits that led into the obesity problem may be contributing to a lower overall student achievement. Obesity also increases a student's risk for other conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure, which could result in higher absences and more academic issues. According to their website, the U.S. Department of Agriculture released a new guideline in 2012 to boost the nutritional quality of the meals that students get at school. Exercise programs are also coming into schools across the country to promote physical activity among students of all ages. However, it seems the country as a whole has still a long way to go on the road to getting better health on a larger scale. And last but not least, we're going to talk about funding and how that's also become a major issue in the public school system. Budget cuts have created a huge problem for most public schools in recent years. Less funding means smaller staffs, fewer resources, and a lower number of services for the students. While some may argue that throwing money at the education problems won't make them go away, others assert that the lack of funding may cause many problems in the first place. There are many problems in public schools today, but identifying those issues is half the battle. With a laundry list of challenges to face, now is the time for educators, parents, and lawmakers to come together and find solutions for the benefit of all students in public schools today. These are a lot of major and general issues that I think no matter what state or city you're from, you can relate to maybe one or two of them, if not all of them. There are so many issues with the way that our children are taught that I didn't speak on in this video, such as a lack of financial literacy. As a child, I think I should have been taught about credit. I shouldn't have had to learn about credit on the fly, something that is so important in this world that could actually be very detrimental to my adulthood. I didn't learn about things like that growing up. There's just so much in this video that I couldn't cover. This was just a quick general summary of about how the education system can help and what we can do as supporters, as parents, as siblings, as grandparents, or whatever you may be. What we can do to maybe help our situation with our students that we're directly tied to, and how we can hopefully make a change. Now, if you found this video entertaining, informative, educational, or you just benefited from it in any way, shape, or form, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, as well as turn on that notification bell, way notified anytime that I drop some content. And while you're at it, please leave a like down below. It helps the algorithm, helps my channel continue to grow, and it helps push my content out in front of more and more people. Again, I just want to say thank y'all. I love those who love me. We're going to continue to run it up. We're going to continue to be consistent. We're going to keep grinding, man. You feel me? We're finishing out 2021 strong, and we heading out even stronger into 2022. With that being said, I'm going to catch y'all back at the next video.